So good evening, future FASS students. Congratulations and thank you so much for joining us today. Please note, as I've said, this session will be recorded. We would first like to begin with a land acknowledgement. We would like to recognize that all three of SFU's campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Musqueam, the Squamish, the Tsleil-Waututh, Coquitlam, Kakite, Semiahmoo, Tawasin, and Métis nations. My name is Madison, and I'm a student recruitment coordinator from SFU's recruitment and admissions team, and I'm one of your hosts for today's events. I am also joined by my esteemed colleagues, Caitlin Davis, the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences Coordinator of Recruitment, Community Outreach, and Student Engagement, as well as my colleague, Rebecca Sangwace, our Indigenous Student Recruitment Coordinator. I will have Caitlin introduce her own team in a bit. At SFU, we have 3 campuses, 8 faculties, 84 research institutions, and are ranked the #1 comprehensive university in Canada. So if you are interested in doing research, you've come to the right place. We currently have over 30,000 students enrolled, and just under 10,000 of those are currently participating in co-ops and other work experiences. A fun fact about SFU is that we are the only Canadian institution to participate in the NCAA, where our varsity athletes compete with US teams. At SFU, the SFU community is an integral part of being a student. From clubs to student unions to recreational sports, there's something here for you. To build on our SFU community, we've just recently completed our brand new student union building. Our incoming fall 2021 class will get to be one of the first groups to use this new building once we're back on campus this fall. With the new stadium opening on campus this fall, there will be even more opportunities to spectate our varsity sports such as football, track and field, and soccer, once we can safely gather again. We also have new residence towers opening this May, where we have brand new single occupancy rooms, common spaces, opportunities to collaborate, and spaces to find comfort in your new surroundings. Another of our many benefits of being an SFU student is graduating into a network of over 170,000 proud alumni from over 43 countries. Not only will you be a part of a strong community once you are a student, but to continue to be a part of one once you graduate. Currently, there will be an update in regards to the status of our fall semester at the end of May. SFU is working collaboratively within the community and with our provincial government to safely reopen our doors. If you have any specific questions about our COVID-19 protocols or any other questions for that matter, we'll be having a Q&A period at the end of today's presentation. So once again, thank you for joining us today and congratulations. I will now pass it over to Caitlin.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Madison. And again, just to echo what Madison just said there, huge congratulations on your offer to the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences at SFU. Round of applause to everybody. We're so excited that you will be joining us this fall, and hopefully we can engage in person. Fingers crossed, as Madison mentioned, we'll know more in the next week or so towards the end of May. Welcome to our very last session of our Next Step series. These sessions are here to really just help you navigate your educational journey and get answers to any questions that you may have and get to know us a little bit better as well. We have a fantastic team of our FASS Year 1 advisors here today. We also have a team of peer mentors. So today we have a student, one of our student staff actually, who's here to talk to you a little bit, or answer, I should say, any questions that you might have about student life or engagement. So be sure to put any questions that you might have about that in the chat. But we do also have a team of peer mentors who are very excited and eager to meet you. They're current students. You can sign up to get paired with someone from your intended program. So it's really like having a buddy already as you're joining the program. They can provide you with any tips, tricks, resources to help support you over the first few months at SFU. And again, it's a really great way to make some friends and get engaged and connected to some of those social and academic activities outside of the classroom. So make sure you do sign up for the peer mentorship program. You can also join the new 2021 undergrad Facebook group and get connected to some fellow incoming students and current students there as well. And follow us, FASS, specifically at fass.engage on Instagram and Facebook to get connected to some current FASS specific students and incoming students. Now, I am going to pass it over to Rose, one of our fantastic advisors, and she'll introduce herself. Great, I see in the chat, someone's already signed up for peer mentorship. Awesome. I will pass it on to Rose to introduce herself.
Hi, good evening. It's taking longer for the sun to go down these days, so it's really great. Welcome to all of you. Just amazing how many people are here. My name is Rosalind Bake. Most of my students call me Rose, and I am the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences Academic Advisor for the FASS, the Surrey Campus. So I see a lot of people there, criminology in Surrey. If you are part of my program, which is called FASS 1, then you would have received an email either yesterday or hopefully today telling you that we also have some information sessions specifically for FASS 1 students next week, and you can register for that, but you're definitely welcome here as well. So it'll be a great time. Hopefully all of us here, you've come with questions and we're gonna do as many answers as possible, but there's a slight difference with all the students who are FASS 1 program and the Burnaby students. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. But next, shall I pass the baton? I'll pass the baton to Megan.
Thanks, Rose. So as Rose said, my name's Megan, and I'm a first-year student, not student, my goodness. I'm a first-year advisor for first-year students. So we primarily, although we've never actually worked on campus yet while I've been in this role, which is kind of bizarre, I work alongside with Rachel, who will introduce herself in a bit. Fun fact, we've only met each other, I think, twice over the year that we've worked with one another because of COVID. So it's really bizarre. But I did want to take a quick opportunity. So Rachel and I, we advise with FASS, the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, but also tonight joining with us, we have Christine Tang, if you want to wave. Hi, Christine. So there's actually an entire team of advisors at SFU that are here and dedicated to making sure that you feel supported and get any answers to the many, many questions that you have. And student services, they have a team of academic advisors that advise all students in all programs. So if you're outside of the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, student services would also advise you as well, but they are available to students in the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences. But the difference is that Rachel and I and Rose work specifically with FASS, where student services are for all students, no matter which program. So just important to know that we're all here to help you, and that's what's really important. So you can reach out to all of us, some of us, both of us. Just make sure you do reach out. So with student services, they have quite a few ways that you can connect with an advisor. As you can see here on the slide, they do 30-minute virtual or phone appointments, and you can book these through your Go SFU or phone number that you have provided there. I'm old school and always do better by calling people. People don't like phone calls anymore. I love them. You can also do 20-minute virtual drop-in appointments that they offer. These are used for kind of quick course planning questions. They're available online only. They also have a live help feature, which is kind of like an instant messaging system. It's great. And you can chat with an academic advisor on those. And you can connect on their website, live help, that's in that slide as well. And email. It seems that people don't use email as much anymore, which makes me feel really old. SFU absolutely uses email, and students need to check their email often. I can't stress that enough. Do check your email often, because student services will send you an email from their team that has all this information on how you can contact them as well. So that's a really long introduction. So I will pass it over to Rachel, and welcome and congratulations.
Thanks, Megan, and hello, everyone, and congratulations. Before this session, I was trying to think back my first day at SFU. Actually, that's where I graduated from. And it was such a long time ago. I was having a hard time and even imagine how I actually managed to graduate when I actually did not have any knowledge about academic calendar, program decoration, whatnot. So you are here today. That means you are off to a good start already. So kudos to you all. And my name is Rachel Chen, and I'm one of the FASS academic advisors supporting first-year students. And also, just like Megan mentioned, I work alongside with our team here. And So tonight is just the starting point of making that connection. And hopefully we'll get to see you more often throughout your journey at SFU as well. But again, it's really nice to have you all here, and welcome.
Fantastic. Thank you guys so much for the introductions. Were we wanting to just go straight into questions? Did you guys have anything else that you wanted to add, Megan?
Yeah, maybe I'll just briefly, like Rachel said, I had a very similar experience to Rachel and Caitlin. I know you and I have talked about this, of the kind of students that we were. And I think that's actually why I've ended up being an academic advisor, because I don't want anybody to repeat my experience and what it was like for me, because I did not go to an academic advisor till the very end of my time at SFU. I ended up doing too many classes or not the right classes. And I just kind of fumbled my way through. And I would say that most students do come to academic advisors kind of when they're in a state of crisis and are maybe feeling a bit panicked. And that's awesome. We're there to help you with that as well. But academic advisors are here for so many other things other than just kind of helping you when you're feeling panicked. We don't want you to feel any panic. So, you know, we're here to help plan so that you never find yourself in those moments where it's really stressful. So maybe Rose, do you want to talk a little bit about just kind of the things that aren't just only crisis, or to prevent crisis, of what an academic advisor can do and does do? Rose is the best, so I'm going to let her go on this one.
Absolutely. So all three of us and all the student services advisors as well, we're here to help you transition. Especially the first term can be so many things. If you're right out of high school, if you're transferring in, it is a different system than what you're used to. So we want to be there to help you. And so the best thing is to reach out to us. It's harder for us sometimes to reach out to you because by and large, we're going to do it by emails, and that's sometimes not as effective in communicating. So please do reach out to us. We have our emails out there. We will help you if you're, and we have a lot of these questions. What courses do I take in the first term? How do I get into this program? How many courses are really good number of courses for first term? The first year definitely is going to be maybe challenging. Different way of studying, different way of learning, different communities. It could be that you're in a classroom, and if we're on campus in a classroom, you'll be one of like maybe 200, 300, 500. The numbers can go up, they can go down, and so it will be different, but that's okay because we have things in set up that, you are going to be supported. Advisors are really good at being proactive, so helping you to plan your academic program. If you are looking towards a specific program, like a major program or a minor program, if you're thinking about, I kind of want to do this, what would be a good program? That kind of thoughtful planning. We can also help you select courses. If you're feeling it halfway through the term that things aren't kind of gelling for you a little bit and you need to reach out to somebody, reach out to us and we can kind of talk it over and see what's going on and help you through the other half. It's a good kind of a check-in to do with an academic advisor. As well, at the end of a term, if you're not doing well, please get in touch with us and we can help you to succeed in the next term. Because again, it's all about planning. And the more you can plan, the better it is. And even talking about options and services and resources, we can be your first contact and we can definitely give you all of those things. So get to know us, get to know Rachel, get to know Megan, get to know me, know us by our names. We are easily reachable by email. My students can text me and call me. Like we are here for you. And guess what? You pay for our services. So get your money's worth. Make us part of your academic planning. And Rachel, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, definitely. Everything, Rose, you just mentioned, I keep nodding my head. Yes, exactly, Rose. I wish I had you as my advisor. And also, well, for me, that knowing I could have reached out to an advisor as well. One more thing I do want to add as well is kind of echoing what Megan and also Rose mentioned earlier, was do not be afraid to reach out, and advisors are not simply there for when you are facing academic difficulties, whatnot. We're here throughout your whole journey in terms of program exploration. You want to talk about, so those are my career dreams, my aspirations. So what programs will be relevant? Those are the types of conversation we can have as well. And I really like to think, being an academic advisor, we are kind of like a detective almost. Sometimes through the emails we get from students, and maybe they're asking, so how do I drop a course? But by going through a transcript, we're able to also find, hey, there are other things that you might want to pay attention to in terms of maybe program selections, your course load, whatnot. So definitely there's no harm to reach out, because we will be able to kind of balance things and try to make sure that there's nothing important left behind.
I see a lot of questions coming in, and I'm starting to see a lot of common questions that we get all the time. And Bettina, who I know is monitoring the chat, is the fastest typer, and I kind of want to beat her to do it if she's answering in there. So Caitlin, I don't know if you're maybe looking at some of the questions, if we want to maybe shift that way, just because, yeah, I'm seeing one from Megan Jenkins here, and yep. I already know that that's a big question that we always get. So I don't know if I should go ahead and answer that one.
Go for it, Megan. Yeah, okay. Go for it.
Yeah, so I can see Megan's asking that she applied for English program and then is maybe thinking about a different program, humanities, which I did a humanities degree, so but that's a really great question, and I think it's one that all of us here get all the time, is when a student wants to change programs, what do they do? So when you apply to SFU, the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, you probably indicated, Megan, in your case, you said English, that was the area that you wanted to study. So there's actually a bit of a difference here. So when you're admitted and given acceptance to SFU, you are an intended student. So on your transcripts, if I was looking at them, it would say that you're an intended English major. And there's a big difference between intended and declared, whereas intended just means that that's what your intentions were to come to SFU to study. It does not mean that you are declared in that program. So there's actually nothing you need to do, Megan, if you're interested in going to humanities, as far as having to declare that change yet, because you're just intended. So what you would want to do is to go look at the humanities program in SFU's academic calendar. You would look up humanities, and you would look at what are their requirements for declaring in their program. Sometimes there's a certain amount of courses you have to take with a certain GPA in order to declare. And you basically just work through it like a checklist. And once you've finished those requirements, you reach out. Oh, I see there's another question saying, how do we declare a major? So yeah, once you fulfill those declaration requirements, again, these are all listed on the program's requirements in the academic calendar. Once you've done that, you reach out to the department advisor, and you're going to email them, and then you're going to put in a request to declare. And that's really it. And even if you do declare in a major, you can actually change your mind still. I was originally an English major, and I switched that to a humanities major. So you can change. I think people get a little bit scared that once you declare, you're in there good and forever, and you can't change your mind. You can change your mind. So yeah, I hope that answers a little bit. I don't know, Rachel, Rosa, if you have anything you want to add to that with the intended versus declared, but remember, they're different. That's your key takeaway with that piece. They're different.
I want to just go back to some of the questions at the beginning and just provide you with how the process is going to work. So yes, SFU is trimestered. A lot of universities are only bimester. Is that how they go? Twice a year. We go 3 times a year. I'm going for the common denominator here. And each halfway through one term, you'll be registering for courses for the upcoming term. So for you guys, you will be registering in early July for the start of courses in September. right? And that will happen continually for all 3 terms. You don't, in the very first term, you must take at least 1 course to make sure that you are part of the SFU community. You can take as many as 1 up to 18 units, which is sometimes plus or minus 5 to 6 courses. That's allowed. We know we don't suggest you do that, but that's how many units you can take per term. So we're 3 semesters, you can take up to 1, from 1 to 18 units in any one term. Somebody asked, how many courses should I take? Really depends on what's going on in your life. If you have a part-time job, if you're responsible for other people, if you have sports going on, if you have other activities that's going to take part of your time away, we normally suggest anywhere from 3 to 4. It really depends. All of these things are going to be readily available to you in the information in what is called the university prep. Okay, it's available to you by Canvas. All the information is there, how to declare, what courses should I take. If you do go through that, you will gain a lot of the information. Of course, you guys you're great because you have us now. So we're gonna provide some of the information, but in case you forget, you can definitely go to University Prep and just log on SFU, and then you go down to Canvas and it should be there for you so that we're not gonna leave you hanging. But even before that, I know that Megan and Rachel and I myself will be providing some course planning sessions or how to select. So things will be coming up. You don't need to worry about everything right now, but in terms of providing you with information, declaring, yes, when do we declare? It really, again, it depends on the program. Sometimes you can declare really early because they have an early declaration process. Sometimes you have to wait a little bit, like criminology has so many courses you have to do before you can declare. So there's not a one answer fits all. You have to do a little bit of due diligence and looking at your calendar or going through the university prep, and then also to coming to these info sessions and connecting with your advisor so we can provide that information to you. So I've answered a few of them, but I'm sure there'll be more coming up.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Megan. Did you have anything to add to that?
No, I was actually, I was going to answer a question, but now it's already gone back up too quickly. I just want to go back up. So somebody asked, I do see a lot of questions of when is it okay to reach out to an advisor? You can reach out to us at any time. I've already been talking, Caitlin, who does recruitment. I mean, she gets emails from high school students. We talk to high school students sometimes when they're applying and need a bit of help, or students who are transferring. So it's never too early to reach out to us for some guidance. So please do. There's not a time when you do or don't have access. You always have access. Caitlin, are you seeing any specific?
Yeah, I was just going to add to that. I also received a couple of direct messages about it as well. You'll notice that Rose, Rachel, and Megan have added their email addresses to the name. We did kind of mention that early on, but some people may have joined later. So Rose, for anybody who is joining the FASS One program in Surrey, you can find her email address in her name there. And then for the Rachel and Megan, you can also find their email address. We also had a PowerPoint slide on how, if you wanted to connect with the student services group, on how to connect with them there as well. We can also add a link into the chat for that one. Okay.
I'm going to answer that one question about the Surrey campus. So as I mentioned in my intro, Surrey FASS One is a specific program for first-year students coming in from high school, and they will primarily take courses in Surrey. And someone asked, do I only have to take courses in Surrey? And I will say no, but there is a request or a recommendation that because it is your first term, you gather all of your courses in one area so that it will help you to facilitate just getting the transition happening well, just adapting to the university environment, what to do, the procedures and the processes of things. But yes, the good thing about the FAST One program is that, and I will explain a lot more, but You get courses, your core courses, you get reserved. So you already have seats guaranteed for specific courses. And then all of the courses offered at the Surrey campus that belongs to Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, you have priority seating. So next week's information, I will go over all of that information just on what the process is. But for the Surrey campus students, you guys are well cared for, because the whole program encompasses you getting your courses, you get priority seating, you get team mentorship right away, you get access to me and any kind of questions you have a smaller class size, you have your services and resources right there on the small campus, so you can't miss it. And the thing is that you'll have more direct connection with students in your class, so that's all part and parcel of what you're doing. Now, because all of you are pretty much intended, you can declare a minor, a major, wherever you want, but each program that you want to declare is separate. So even if it's a joint program, so there are joints for criminology and psychology and even business with psychology, right? But each program that you want to declare is separate. So you'll work on that individually. And then once you've met the admission requirements, then you can contact the departmental advisor. And that is part of, and Surrey is primarily a first year. So starting your even second term or second year, you'll be taking most of your courses in Burnaby anyway. So that's why we like to encourage all of our FASS 1 Surrey students to take advantage of taking classes close to home in the first couple of terms. And then we're gonna release you to the rest of the campus.
Thank you so much, Rose. Yes, I also had another message from a student, Rose, for FASS 1. She is your advisor, so write down her email. She is your person. Also, happy birthday, Julia. There's a lot of happy birthday messages to Julia in the chat right now. So happy birthday to you. Megan, I see you have your hand up, so you have something to add. I have lots of questions that we can go through after. So I'll pass it back to Megan here.
Yeah, I was actually just gonna, so a quick question somebody asked, which they were interested in a joint program. Who do they reach out to as an advisor? So as an undeclared student, which is what an intended student is and what everybody is right now, or undeclared, you reach out to us. We are your advisors, as well as the student services. Christine here, I'm pointing this way, but I don't know if that's where she is. We're your advisors. When you declare, then the departmental advisors are your advisors. If you were to reach out to department advisors right now, they wouldn't, it's not that they wouldn't be able to help you, but they dedicate their time and services to the students within their programs, which are usually very big and busy. So we're here to help you while you're undeclared. So just remember that distinction. And then maybe I'll pass it over to Rachel, because I know Bettina was asking if we could talk a bit about choosing courses, where to find courses.
Yeah, definitely. And thanks, Megan. So yeah, definitely course selection could be really exciting, but also overwhelming, especially when you are thinking of all the courses we have to offer and you don't necessarily know which one would be the most fitting in your circumstances. So normally we will recommend students to start with what you are interested in. So in terms of your past experience, maybe courses you took in high school, and you could kind of start to think, okay, so will I be more interested in psychology? Is it criminology? Also combining what you're hoping to do in the future as well. And you can work your way back in terms of what programs could be relevant to that specific skills as well. But I'm saying a but because there's always a but somewhere. This is when, again, we're talking about the intention, the intended program, and also major as well. I would say the first year even is the time for you to really explore. So by exploring, we want to make sure that you also get a chance to take courses from many different programs. And for your first semester, because the transition, whether from high school or from college, could be a steep one to SFU because there's a gap in between. So it is recommended that you are taking it easy on yourself. Do not try to sign up for 5 courses, 6 courses for your first semester, because you also want to make sure that you give yourself a chance to get used to the whole university campus life as well. So like we mentioned earlier, there's a mentorship program and also volunteer. And you just also want to get to know SFU as a whole community as well. So probably 3 courses will be a good start, but of course also depend on how you feel. And that is why, again, talking to an academic advisor will be really important, that we are good at asking questions and kind of digging deeper, and just so give you a chance to think about, so how do I feel right now with my course load? Do I feel confident and also comfortable?
Christine, you have something to add?
Yep, I just want to chime in and just say that even if you don't know what you wanted to chat about, or you're not sure what resources is out there, don't worry about that too much. You can always come and see us in academic advising, and we'll help you refer you to the right place, the right campus resource. So don't hesitate to come reach out to us. Just echoing what everyone else has said already. Don't just wait until you're in academic difficulty, or if you have any challenges to your transition here at SFU, we're not scary. We're here to help you in whatever way we can, especially here in student services. I did see a message about joint majors and maybe other exploring other faculties as well. So if you wanted to add a business minor, for example, or a science minor in combination with your FASS major, we can definitely help you out here in student services. So just come and reach out to us and we'll be happy to help you.
Fantastic. Yes, there was lots of questions. I think we want to go in a bit more detail here about how do minors work? What's the difference between majors and minors? Does anybody want to take that one on and go in a bit more detail about that, please?
Okay.
Megan?
Oh, yeah, Christine did. I forgot. It's funny. One of our colleagues always uses a dinner plate as an example, and it's funny. We were just talking about this, about how much he loves this as an example, and here I am using it. So, if you think of a bachelor's degree as a plate with your dinner, and maybe the main course on that plate is a piece of chicken, which is the main part of that plate, although I'm a vegetarian, so that wouldn't work for me. But if you think of that as the major, it takes up the majority of what's on that plate. It's the bigger piece of that degree. And then let's say you have a side of mashed potatoes, and then you have a few veggies there as well. So those mashed potatoes could be something like a minor. So minors are usually around half the amount of what a major is. And you can combine a major and a minor. You can do 2 minors. You can do a joint major, double major. It really is just how you're combining your degree. Students don't have to do any which way. It's really what you enjoy. So to use myself as an example, I really loved the humanities, and I ended up not seeing an advisor, but I took so many humanities courses that it became my major, and I had so many English courses because that's what I originally wanted to do, that I made it an extended minor. So it's really just bringing focus to your degree. I know a lot of students, let's say, who are maybe interested in pursuing a master's in counseling. Their bachelor's degree usually and sometimes looks like a major in psychology and then a minor in counseling and human development. So it really just brings focus to not only what you're interested in, but maybe what you're wanting to have a career in. So if you think of it like that dinner plate, the main course on there is your kind of your major, maybe the mashed potatoes or the minor, and then the vegetable part is kind of like your electives, those exploratory courses that maybe are just some things that you want to try out. So yeah, the dinner plate analogy continues.
Thanks so much, Megan. Awesome. I have a question here. Can we switch our courses? So this one in particular is switching. Can we switch our courses from one professor to another? Does anybody want to answer anything about switching classes, or it could be even related to timelines? Rose, I see you unmuted. Fantastic.
I did answer that one, but before you actually register for a course, and we really encourage students to research, look at course outlines, look at the subject, look at a reading list. By the time you are going to register in the beginning of July sometime, most of the course outlines should be available. There will be a few that might not, but I would say by and large, most of the course line will be available, and you can have a look at the course content, about how it's going to be graded, about how many books are recommended or required readings there are. You can do some research on your own and find out, is this the right course? Even if it's, a Psychology 100, and it could be like 3 different instructors teaching it, I would say go to and look at 3 different course outlines, because even though it's the same class, sometimes there could be different emphasis or different way of grading the course. So really look at the course outlines, and in your decision making, look at maybe even the previous years if you want to do so. There are various ways you can research a course before taking it, but while you're say you're halfway through and you want to move into that you can't do that, unfortunately. Maybe fortunately, you're kind of stuck with the course that you're enrolled in. There will be a timeline, a deadline of when you can add courses, when you can drop courses. So within those timelines, yes, you can switch, but after those deadlines, you're pretty much stuck with what you have. So I would just say, go with it, do the best you can in those courses, and then go talk to an academic advisor.
Thank you so much, Rose. Anyone have anything to add to that? Okay, quickly before we go to the next one, this just kind of goes back to the majors and minors. We have tons of questions about it, but we also have a current student in the room here. Mariah, did you want to speak to your experiences with your majors and minors?
Yeah, for sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Mariah. I'm currently working as one of the student staff in the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, and I'm currently doing a co-op. So normally I'm a full-time student or a part-time student, depending on the semester, but right now I'm doing co-op. And my program is a little different, and I really like that everyone is asking all these questions about majors and minors, because my path to my degree is a little unconventional in the sense that I'm actually not doing a major. I decided partway into my program that I didn't feel like pursuing a major because I was interested in multiple different things. So I talked to an advisor and they let me know that you could do a double minor. So that's initially what I set myself on, doing a double minor. And then I switched that to do a triple minor towards my degree. I just got way more into different things. So I'm currently working on the triple minor in sociology, criminology, and communication. So I saw a couple of people put in the chat that they were interested in cross-faculty programs. That's something I'm a part of. It's really interesting, how even across faculties, how useful information is you learn in your FASS courses compared to your other faculty courses. But there's definitely ways that are not doing a major that you can work through your degree. And what I like is that you can really tailor it to your interests. So I found out that I was interested in multiple different things, and then I was able to tailor my degree around it. And even though it takes a while for me to explain my program, I'm really happy with the program I landed on. It's really unique and everything is really fun to learn. So yeah, I would definitely encourage you to meet with advisors, because I had no idea this was an option until I met with one. And then it completely helped me change my program and find something that worked for me. Thank you, Caitlin.
Thank you so much, Mariah, for sharing. It's always good to hear current student examples to explain some of this as well, and really show you that there's so many different possibilities for how you can be building your degree to suit you as a student. It's not extremely straightforward for everything, right? Like you have to all take the exact same classes. So that's a great example. Thank you so much for sharing that, Mariah. We have some questions here about co-op. Would anybody like to talk quickly about co-op? We're not co-op advisors, but we can definitely speak to co-op as well. Who would like to go? Rachel, I see you unmuted.
Yes, yeah, busted. And so yes, for co-op, this is really something important that we want students to experience, especially this is a paid position and also give you an opportunity to actually go into the industry that you are thinking that you might be interested in. I think a lot of things that going to university is about trying things out. And also sometimes we do have the kind of ideas or image in our head of how certain industry might be like. So it is important for students to also apply for co-op, and just so you get a chance to really work in that company or in that industry, and you will be able to find out exactly whether it's something you are interested in, or are there certain factors that you might not enjoy as much. It's really important for you before you can make your next decision in terms of what areas that you might want to work on as well. But I think I haven't really touched upon exactly what co-op is. So co-op is, this is a very unique program we have at SFU, and we actually have a very strong co-op program. In terms of that, is for students who are curious and also interested in working in a specific field, they can actually apply for co-op positions, in which actually is we have trainings. And so you will be working with co-op advisors in terms of sharpening up your interview skills, and also how do you write resume, cover letters, whatnot. And the second term, you move into what we call seeking, is when you start to apply for positions that you are interested in. And for all the positions we have in co-op, those are vetted by SFU co-op office already. So you do not need to worry about you're working with someone with negative reputation in the industry. So that one is the quality check, I would say. And that's why I also make co-op stand out. And lastly, once you apply and got accepted, that's when you start your co-op term, when you just work like any other employee in that office, and just to get valuable work experience.
Awesome. Thank you so much. A couple more questions in here about co-op. Did anybody have anything that they wanted to add that might encompass some of the questions that we have there? One big thing about co-op is it's not every single program has co-op at SFU. So it's not specific to certain programs. So it's not like, you know, only students in this program have the option of doing co-op. Everybody can do co-op, and it's broken down by industry. So there are students who could be working or studying, I should say, in a variety of different faculties and programs at SFU, but may all have an interest of working within the criminal legal system, or may be interested in working with the federal government. And you can look at the different industries and look for co-op jobs within that area. So you're not specific to just certain programs only. Okay. When am I able to apply for a co-op? Another great question. Also, can I take co-op alongside a program? Did anybody want to answer any of these questions here? I can do it as well. So typically, I would say if you're going into your first year, let's say you're coming straight out of high school, you're entering into your first year, I would look into co-op in your first semester. You're not applying for it necessarily just yet, but go to information sessions. It is highly recommended. You can start to apply for it. There is preparatory coursework that you do have to do in advance before you can actually start to go out on your work terms. So get that under your belt right away, and that way then you have access to start seeing what opportunities are available for you through the job boards and get to applying. I know Mariah, like she said, she is a current co-op student right now, so she can always talk a little bit about her experiences going through co-op. Megan, I see you also have your hand raised, so did one of you want to talk about that?
Mine was not about co-op. I was just kind of putting myself in the queue for a question.
Okay, we'll get Mariah to talk about co-op then, and then we'll go to you, Megan.
Yeah, so I joined, this is my first co-op semester this summer semester. I'm doing an 8-month co-op. So typically when you apply to co-op jobs, most of them are 4 months, and then sometimes you can apply to 8-month co-ops. So mine is going to be an 8-month position. I did see a couple questions as well as if it will extend your degree. So yes, it will. You add an extra year onto your degree when you do co-op, but by the end, if you complete 3 work terms, you do end up with a year of work experience. So it's a really great resume booster. So although you are extending your degree, you're getting really great experience alongside it. And typically how it works when you're not doing 8-month co-ops is you would do 4 months of co-op, and then you would go back and do 4 months of study. So you would alternate study and work terms. So you can take what you learned in co-op and you can apply it back to your study terms and your courses, and then you go back and you would do another co-op term, and then you would apply what you learned from your study terms. And your coursework is actually really applicable a lot of times to what you're learning and helps you with all that, which is really great. So yes, co-op, yeah. So to get the co-op designation, it's 3 terms long. So it'd be 3 work terms. So 12 months total, alternating throughout your degree. Caitlin mentioned a little bit about the coursework, and it sounds kind of intimidating. Oh, co-op coursework. The co-op courses were actually really helpful. My resume completely changed and my cover letter completely changed as I went through the co-op course. And I was really able to create a resume that I was really happy with, and it landed me this job. So I like to think that it improved. But co-op, so yeah, co-op, the coursework helps you with your resume, cover letter, interviewing skills. I learned so much about interviewing through co-op courses. You also get a co-op advisor you're paired with for your program, which is really nice to have somebody to who checks in with you, who you can ask any questions related to co-op and things like that. So yeah, co-op, my experience so far has been really good. Like I say, I'm just on my first co-op term, so I just finished my coursework and I'm just getting started, and it's really great. I'm also taking a look at the chat as well. Can you take co-op if you want to do a joint major? Yeah, you can take co-op regardless of what your program of study is. The nice thing about co-op is you don't have to take a job in your area even. You get access to see all the types of jobs. So you could be doing an arts degree, and if you see a math job that you're qualified for or something, I'm not sure because I only looked at arts jobs, but if you see a job that you're qualified for and feel like you would really like to do, you can apply to it and go from there, but you're not limited to a certain type of job when you're in co-op. So yeah, it doesn't really matter what your program is. Like I say, I'm doing 3 things as part of my program, and this was the type of job I applied to because I was interested in. So that's kind of how that works. And then is it hard to get into the co-op program? I think it depends. You'd need a certain CGPA. So your GPA has to be a certain, I don't know it off the top of my head, but I know it's online of what you need. And then you just apply, and then 2.75, thank you, Rose. And you apply, and then you do, they recommend that you start applying to co-op when you're under 75 units, I believe. I believe I was right around that. I think I was right at 60 units when I applied, so I just had to give like an extra form. But yeah, co-op is really great, and it's a great thing to look into. There's workshops on that as well. So I would highly encourage you to check and look into those.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mariah, for sharing your experiences. We'll get back into some advising questions here. Megan, you had some questions that we have queued up here to answer, so we'll pass it on to Megan.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of questions coming in to the chat about do we give you a schedule of courses? How do you look for courses? What do you do to create a schedule? So this is really, it's up to you. We don't create a schedule for you. If we did, I don't think we would ever sleep or have weekends off. But we can absolutely help you with that. So the course, SFU's academic calendar, I think of it like a big, it used to be in a paper book, and I loved that. But it's kind of like shopping for your courses is what I used to think when I would get that big calendar. And it's online now. So if you're, an intended psych major, you would go look in the academic calendar, and the fall academic calendar is released usually kind of early mid-June. We don't have an exact date, I don't think yet. But you would start looking in that academic calendar. And if you're interested in psychology, go look at what the requirements are for a psychology major and look at the courses. And you want to build a schedule that works for you, whether that means you're wanting to just do 2 courses, 3, 4, you want to build it and keep in mind to have balance. I can't stress that enough. A lot of students come in and they're like, I'm studying psychology and then want to take 4 or 5 psychology courses. It's awesome that you're excited about studying psychology, but taking all courses in all one subject can be really heavy and kind of overwhelming. You want to have balance. So maybe something from a major subject that you're interested in, maybe a minor subject that you might be interested in, or something that you're just interested in and you want to explore. but to have some balance. So the academic calendar is what you're going to be looking at for courses. And when you're building a schedule, I can't stress this enough, have multiple plans. Plan A is best case, plan B if you can't get into all of your courses, because courses do fill up and sometimes they're not offered in a certain term. And also maybe your courses conflict with the time schedule. If you do register for a course and it conflicts with another course you're taking, it will put a block and it won't let you enroll. So don't feel you have to memorize all the time schedules. If something conflicts, it will tell you, but just keep that in mind. You want to have a plan A, plan B, and I would even say plan C. You just want to know, what your options are, because there's nothing worse than getting to registration and it doesn't work and you don't know what to do and then you're panicked. And if you're still super confused about course planning, we're here to help you. We can go through what does a balanced semester look like and help you pick some courses. It's a lot of information that we're providing here for you, and we don't expect you to memorize it. It's okay to be super confused. We can help you with that.
And just want to add to that it is your first term, and at most you're going to take 3, 4, 5 courses, right? So as much as you might be interested in so many things, you're going to have to pick, go down. Also, a lot of students pick their courses based on when they want to be at school. So if you only want to be, and whereas it's like a lot of my first students, well, I got to work Thursday and Friday, so I can only take classes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or, a lot of different factors will come into you choosing your courses. But it's your first term at SFU, go wild, get engaged, explore things. It's all good. And I just want to speak to the Surrey students here, the FASS 1 students, is that you will have a mandatory course planning. That's just the way I am. I'm kind of finicky. So you will be forced to attend one of these plans where we will go through exactly the questions, how many you have to take, what courses you have to take, if you're wanting to go into political science or history, all of those things. And I also know that student services will be holding course planning sessions. So you will receive, as Meghan said, your specific appointment. So everybody's going to get slightly different appointment. Some could be on a Monday, some could be on a Tuesday, some in the morning, some in the afternoon. So you will receive your very specific enrollment time through your SFU email. So make sure that you got that activated. And it will come, I would say, mid to late June, so that you can have a little time to prepare, exactly like Meghan said. Do like at least 2, 3 different plans, so that if one doesn't work because of time conflict or even final exam conflicts, that can happen. And we don't always know when that can be until you actually go into the schedule. In order for you to look at the full schedule, that won't happen until you get your registration date. So right now, the fall schedule is not 100% complete, so you will not be able to look at all of the courses. But as soon as you get your registration date through your email, then you should be able to go online and look at the course lines, look at all the schedules, and start to play around with that.
Rachel, I see you have your hand up there.
Yes, just quickly to elaborate and also add on to what Rose and Meghan have mentioned already, is in terms of course selection for scheduling, you also want to consider, like Meghan mentioned, that maybe morning classes sometimes might not work, and also to think about what are other obligations outside of school as well. Are you working? Are you taking care of younger siblings, or maybe taking care of the family as well? And sometimes just have to kind of balance things out a little bit. And again, I cannot really emphasize enough how exciting the first semester at SFU can be. And you might want to grab all the courses that might be seeming interesting to you, but we still have time. You still have your second semester, third semesters throughout your whole SFU journey to try out those interesting courses. So yes, go crazy, but at the same time, not too crazy in terms of also making sure that you are keeping in touch with your academic advisors. And we are able to show you in terms of how to use academic calendar, what information will you be able to find on the calendar as well. So those things will be covered in our upcoming course polling sessions as well. So do not worry if your questions were not answered tonight.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Yeah, we just have a couple more minutes left here. A couple questions about the SFU emails. And when do you get that? When do you get access to it? When do you get access to look at the courses? I know Rose kind of answered that. But does anybody want to quickly answer? Rose, I just see you put it into the chat. Did you just want to say it out loud quickly for everybody on how to do that quickly?
Yeah, so you would have received an email to say, please activate your computing ID. Once you activate your computing ID, then that activates your email. And in order to activate your computing ID, just Google it, SFU activating computing ID, and it usually comes up, or it's on the Welcome to SFU admission page. It's also there as well. So many ways you can find out how to activate, but you need to do that in order to have access to the unit prep that's on Canvas. And again, a new platform that you're gonna have to get used to, so better sooner than later, I always say. I think did I answer that question?
Yeah, I think so. Thank you so much. Okay, any other questions that we have here in the chat? Megan, yes, you put it into the chat there as well. So Simran, your question was just answered into the chat by Megan. I'll just answer this one question here because it might be applicable to a lot of people here. When will I know I'm officially accepted to SFU? So this in particular is likely going to be more applicable for, well, I guess most students actually. Your offers are conditional. If you're in high school, you're still completing your classes, right? So we don't know what these final grades are going to be just yet. So make sure that you focus on doing really well in your classes, get good grades, because we will receive those final grades sometime through the summer. And once those are double checked to make sure you meet those requirements, that's when it will become an official. So your offer is conditional for now. That being said, you will still have access to be able to register in classes, activate your ID, all of that kind of stuff. So your offer will be finalized in the summertime. For transfer students, you would need to make sure that you are sending in those updated transcripts. So as soon as you get those classes finished and everything is updated on your transcripts there, then make sure that you get those submitted. Another question about seeing course outlines. We did have a link into the chat. Madison, thank you so much for putting that in there again. Okay, a couple more questions here. I don't know if anyone has seen some questions in the chat that I haven't caught up to just yet. We're right at 6 o'clock, so we'll try and finish up these last few questions here. Megan, Rose, Rachel. Yeah, Megan.
I'm just gonna put in the chat a link that has, it'll take you to our advising and resources page that has all of us, Rose, Rachel, and I's contact information. You can go straight to that link, has our emails. Rachel and I also hold live with an advisor sessions every Tuesday and Thursday from 1:30 to 2:30, where you can come with questions. If you need some support or clarification, Rachel and I hang out every Tuesday and Thursday. And on that same link that has our contact information is just a register button, and you'll get a Zoom link for those live sessions. Sometimes we offer some workshops around course planning that Rachel and I do, and those will also be posted on the same link that I offered there. So it's just kind of a good catch-all link that has all of our information. So I just wanted to add that.
Thank you so much. Okay, Madison, there was a couple of admissions questions here. I'll just get you to quickly answer those here as we finish up, and then we'll do our final words for everybody.
Okay, so I think I see one here. If I have a class that is not required for my program for general admission, can I drop it? So if this is like a course you're currently taking, so you're still in high school and you're taking that class, as long as you are still meeting the admission requirements for your programs, we always recommend checking the admission compass beforehand to make sure you're still meeting those requirements. Any additional courses that are not necessary for your program to be admitted, we do not require them, so you can drop them if you'd like, but we always make sure to check the admissions compass first because we can't guarantee it if you drop a course and you actually needed it. after your admission, because your admission is determined by those 5 courses. So I can put the admissions compass in the chat as well. Just give me one.
Thank you so much, Madison, for answering that there. All right. Rachel, Megan, Rose, anything to add here? Any final questions that you see in the chat?
I just want to say, don't feel you have to memorize any of this. It's a lot of information. Don't feel panicked if you've forgotten stuff, wrote it down wrong, or lost a link, or if a question wasn't answered in the chat. It's a lot of information, and you can reach out to us. I know I keep saying that, but it's really important that you just know you don't have to figure it out all on your own. You really don't. We're here to help.
Thank you so much.
I saw another email. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I just saw another one here. Will you folks send me an email when I'm officially accepted to SFU? So yes, you will receive another email confirming your original offer of admission once we've received your final grades for the year. So sometime between mid-July and mid-August, you'll receive another confirmation email from us.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I think that is all. As Megan mentioned, please do not hesitate to email. So our advisors, you can see there again, there are 3 names. They have their email addresses in their names. Please reach out and email them. That's what they're here for, is to support you on this journey. So please make sure, Rose is giving hearts right now. They love to talk, and same, if for me, I can always point you in the right direction as well if you have any questions, any FASS related inquiries. We are here to help you out for those individual specific course planning needs. Email our advisors. Rose, for any of those students looking at going to Surrey, is your person. You're looking at going up to Burnaby, make sure you connect with Rachel and Megan. Thank you all so much for joining us here today to learn and meet our expert FASS Year 1 advisors, Rachel, Megan, and Rose. Woo, thank you all so much. We are again very excited for you to be joining us here this fall, hopefully in person. Again, this is recorded, so you can find this again on our website. Any remaining questions, please be sure to reach out, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye, everybody.